If there's one thing I really hate, it's doing things twice. I've got better things to do than to do a rotor for match moving that I already did for compositing or color grading. That's why in today's quick tip I want to show you how you can quickly and easily use external mats in SynthEyes. I'm Christoph Zapletal for Boris Effects. Let's go. This shot should track pretty easily. As it's also rather long, I'll go with a feature track. Let's go to the advanced settings and bump our maximum tracker count to 1000. Next, let's split all the frames and peel all trackers. I'll switch over to the tracker room so that we can see the peel trackers more easily. Now let's take a look. These look fine, these look great, but yeah, these trackers are taking a ride on the escalator. And that's not going to be very helpful for our solve. I could now step through 500 something frames and delete these trackers manually, or I could rotor the escalators in the rotor masking room. But if I switch over to Mocha, you can see that I already did a rotor for the escalators because the colorist wanted to have a mat to separate the escalators a bit from the surrounding concrete and steel. So the rotor work is already done. We'll just need to make it available to SynthEyes. I'll turn off the shapes of the escalator on the screen left because that escalator is not moving and will give us nice tracking details for our camera solve. To make this mat available in SynthEyes, I'll now export all visible shapes as a grayscale mat. And just to be extra clear on this mat could come from any application you already created your mats in. It could come from Resolve, Nuke or Silhouette, but it just so happens that I really like to do my rotor in Mocha. A few tips on exporting. Make sure that the mat actually lives in the RGB channels of your image. That's where SynthEyes will look for them. And if you want optimum performance for SynthEyes, go with PNG as a file format. Also, make sure that your mat has got the same dimensions as the footage you're tracking with. Proxies can give you really weird results here. Last, but certainly not least, align your mat with the first frame of the sequence you loaded into SynthEyes. It doesn't matter at all if you've set up a range for your SynthEyes scene. The deciding anchor point is always the first frame of the source sequence you're using. And if you stick with these guidelines, adding the external alpha is easy as pie. Now back in SynthEyes, I'll just head over to the rotor masking room and click the plus alpha button. Let's find the PNG sequence I just rendered out of Mocha. So now we get a new entry up here in our mat list, but we can't see the alpha applied to the image. Not yet. But if I go to the viewer HUD here, select alpha and enable the rotor mask view, I can see that alpha we just added. If I want to have this as an overlay, I'll simply switch back to RGB and left click and drag the rotor mask button to adjust the transparency of the overlay. As a final touch, let's also do a mask ML rotor of our talent. I will quickly tell the ML model to isolate the actress and process that clip. Another entry is added to our list up here, but as you can see, both entries appear as a single mask in the viewer overlay. So, if needed, you can combine external mats with mask ML, rotor splines, or even other external mats. So let's flip the frames and peel the trackers again. And now you can see that all these escalated riding trackers are gone. So I hope this little quick tip will save you some time when tracking your next shot. For other tips and more in-depth tutorials, check out our video library at boriseffects.com. There you can not only find everything SynthEyes, but also tutorials for Mocha, Silhouette or any of the other tools that we make. I'm Christoph Zapletal for Boris Effects, and I will see you in another video.